Have you ever wondered, what if we could build a tower so tall it reaches the sky? This simple question is like a small seed planted in the mind. It makes us look up from our busy lives. We tilt our heads back and gaze at the vast blue canvas above us. For as long as humans have walked this earth, we have carried this desire to build higher and higher. It is a quiet but persistent hum in the background of our history. We see this urge in the evolution of our homes. From simple, low huts made of mud and straw to grand, soaring temples of carved stone. We see it in the glass mountains that now rise from the hearts of our modern cities. We have always, it seems, wanted to be just a little bit closer to the sky. This longing is woven into the fabric of our stories and our art. We tell tales of giants and gods who lived in castles among the clouds. We paint pictures of ladders stretching into the heavens. They are expressions of a deep and fundamental part of what it means to be human. Long, long ago, a story was told. It is the story of the Tower of Babel. In this ancient tale, all the people of the world came together in one place. They spoke a single language. They shared a single grand idea. They decided to build a city with a tower so magnificent it would reach into the heavens. They wanted to make a name for themselves to avoid being scattered across the earth. This story, though ancient, speaks to a powerful truth. It highlights our capacity for unity when driven by a common, ambitious goal. The tale is often seen as a cautionary one, a lesson about pride. But if we look through a different lens, we see the raw power of collaboration and ambition. Imagine the scene. Thousands working as one. Bricks being made, stones being laid, the structure rising level by level, a moment of pure, focused intent. Today, that ancient desire to build high is realized in our modern skyscrapers. When you look at the skyline of a city like Dubai, you see the Burj Khalifa. It stands like a slender, gleaming needle, seeming to stitch the earth to the sky. At over 828 meters tall, it is a breathtaking achievement of human ingenuity. It is our modern-day Babel, a symbol of what is possible when vision, technology, and immense resources come together. It is not just a building, it is a statement, a declaration of progress and a testament to the enduring power of a very old dream. It quietly asks the world, what's next? And it is not alone. All around the globe, cities are engaged in a quiet, vertical race. In Shanghai, the Shanghai Tower twists elegantly towards the clouds, its unique shape designed to withstand the powerful winds at its great height. In New York City, a new generation of super slender towers rises along Central Park, so thin they seem to almost disappear when viewed from the side. These buildings are more than just places to live and work. They become icons for their cities. They are landmarks that define a skyline and project an image of power, wealth, and artistic expression to the rest of the world. These structures represent the very edge of our current capabilities. Each one is a massive experiment. Engineers and architects must solve thousands of problems to make them a reality. The unseen forces, gravity, and wind. As we dream of building ever higher, we come face to face with the laws of the physical world. The first and most relentless force we must contend with is gravity. Gravity is the invisible giant that is always trying to pull everything down to the ground. The taller a building gets, the heavier it becomes. All of that immense weight, every floor, every pane of glass, every piece of furniture, must be carried down through the structure to its base. This creates incredible pressure on the lower sections of the building. They must be strong enough to support the entire world sitting on top of them. If the materials are not strong enough, or the design is not clever enough, the building would simply collapse under its own weight. Then there is the wind. Down here on the ground, a breeze can feel gentle and pleasant. But high up in the atmosphere, the wind is a powerful and constant force. For a super tall skyscraper, the wind is like a giant hand trying to push it over. The building must be designed to stand firm against this pressure, but it also needs a little bit of flexibility. If it were perfectly rigid, it could snap. So, architects design shapes that are aerodynamic, allowing the wind to flow around the building smoothly. You can see this in the tapered, spiraling forms of many modern towers. They are shaped by the wind as much as by human hands. To handle the swaying caused by the wind, engineers use a clever solution called a tuned mass damper. This is essentially a giant, heavy pendulum, often a huge block of steel or concrete, suspended near the top of the building. When the wind pushes the building in one direction, the damper swings in the opposite direction. This counteracts the motion and keeps the swaying to a minimum. It's like a built-in shock absorber for the entire skyscraper. And finally, we must think about what lies beneath. A massive tower needs an incredibly strong foundation. You cannot build a giant on soft sand. The ground itself must be able to support the staggering weight of the building. To achieve this, builders often have to dig very deep into the earth. They drive long, thick columns, called piles, down until they hit solid bedrock. Section 5. The human equation. Cost, movement, and safety. Beyond the laws of physics, there are other, more human limits to how high we can build. Perhaps the most significant one is money. Super tall skyscrapers are enormously expensive projects. They require vast quantities of materials like steel, concrete, glass. They demand years of labor from thousands of skilled workers. The taller you decide to build, the more these costs multiply. An owner or a developer must be confident that they can earn that money back. The building needs to be filled with offices, apartments, hotel rooms that people are willing to pay for. If a tower is too expensive to build, it might end up as a beautiful, but mostly empty, monument. Then there is the simple, practical problem of moving people around. In a building that is hundreds of stories high, you cannot just take the stairs. You need elevators. Today's fastest elevators are technological marvels, capable of whisking people up 1,000 meters in a minute. But the elevator shafts themselves take up a lot of valuable space. As a building gets taller, more and more of its core must be dedicated to these vertical highways. At a certain point, you would have so many elevator shafts that there would not be enough usable floor space left to make the building profitable. Safety is, of course, the most important human consideration of all. A skyscraper must be a safe place for thousands of people to live and work. It must be designed to withstand not only wind, fires, earthquakes. Building codes are incredibly strict for these structures, and for very good reason. They dictate everything from the strength of the materials to the number and placement of emergency exits. Planning for a safe evacuation from the 150th floor is a monumental challenge. Making a building safer often adds weight and cost, which can create a natural limit to how high we are willing to go. And human comfort sets a boundary. The experience of swaying and pressure changes is part of the reality, even as designers work to make towers feel as stable as the ground below. Section 6. Dreams of tomorrow, megastructures, and new materials. So, what does the future hold? If we want to build significantly higher than we do today, we will likely need to think in new ways. Some visionaries dream of arcologies or megastructures, entire cities contained within a single massive structure, neighborhoods, parks, schools, transportation systems, all stacked vertically. To make such dreams a reality, we would almost certainly need new kinds of materials. Steel and concrete have served us well, but they have their limits. They are very heavy. We would need materials that are incredibly strong and incredibly light. Carbon nanotubes and graphene, pound for pound, far stronger than steel, might one day allow what today seems impossible. One of the most captivating ideas for the future is the space elevator. This concept bridges the gap between a tall building and space travel. The idea is an ultra-strong cable, perhaps made from carbon nanotubes, stretching from the Earth's equator to a satellite in geostationary orbit, with robotic climbers carrying people and cargo into space far more cheaply and safely than rockets. Right now, the biggest challenge is we do not yet have a material that is strong enough and long enough to create the cable. But it remains a powerful dream, driving research and inspiring a new generation. For now, the path forward is gradual. Each new record-breaking building is a laboratory. We learn how it performs in the wind, how materials age, how people use the space. Learning, testing, refining, one step and one story at a time. Section 7. A reflection in the sky. When we look at the gleaming skyscrapers of today, and then think back to the old story of the Tower of Babel, it feels like looking into a mirror across time. Today, we see a similar kind of unity. It takes the collaboration of many nations, companies, and brilliant minds to raise a modern skyscraper. We are still linking stones, steel beams, and panes of glass, driven by the same mix of practical need and profound ambition. Our world is becoming more urban, and building vertically can be a responsible way to grow. And yet, that quiet question from the Babel story always lingers. Grand projects can fail when ambition outruns wisdom. Are we building higher simply because we can? Or are we building with a clear and thoughtful purpose? So the real question is, are we building higher or just chasing something we may never reach?